Okay. Anaqa balla, bugungi darsimizniki intayin muhim bo'lgan qismi nima? Sentence structure. Okay, endi bugungi jumla qurilma shakliga nima qilaylik? So, first read the story again and underline the sentence tab below. You know, what the Sawyer family usually do. Anda sizlar tekstni yana bir qatim men bu dars bilan birlikda o'qib, odatda Sawyer oilasilar odatda nima ish qiladi? Masalan, they usually do blah blah blah blah blah. Mush bo'lsa, tekin sizib chiqinglar. Masalan, Mr. Sawyer usually goes to work in the morning, right? Qaranglar. Qarab baqsaq, in the morning, Mr. Sawyer goes to work and children go to school. And the mishariga goes and go nima desanglar? Odatda qiladiganlar. And their father takes them to school every day. Mrs. Sawyer stays at home every day and she does the housework. And she always eats her lunch at noon. What at the end of that? And in the afternoon, she usually sees her friends. And they often drink tea together. They often drink tea together. Okay. And the misharike ammasini ma'risanlar oddiy hozir zaman. And in the evening the children comes home from school and they arrive home early. Okay. And misharike come and arrive. And Mr. Sawyer comes home from work and he arrives home late. And the Sawyer at night, the children always do their homework. Then they go to bed. Mr. Sawyer usually reads his newspaper, but sometimes he and his wife watch television. Demek, mushulning ichidagi ash qizil suzib qo'ygan bo'laklari qanday bo'ldi desanglar, shu sharkat odatda davomli takror yuz beradigan, odatga aylangan sharkatlarni ko'rsatadi. Odatga aylangan sharkatlarning so'zi. Hamsa, ammo shu rasmlarga qarab, look at more and talk, okay? Such as Johnsons. The Johnsons go to garden every day. And the Johnsons like qanday go to garden. Bog'chaga boradi. Shunama, demak, the Johnsons go to the garden every week. Va har hafta bular nima gullikka yoki bog'chaga boradi. Demak, endi bu shu boradi degan gap har hafta davomli qayta yuz beradigan sharkat. Demak, odatga aylangan yoki yakshanba yoki shanba ma'lum bir kuni davomli shunga o'xshash yuz beradigan ishlarga nima desanglar, o'sha oddiy hozir zaman shiltimiz masalan Johnson goes garden every week har hafta boradi. Shunama. Demak, endi mishariki Johnsons amna egisi ko'plik o'qib qolsa, bu nima desanglar? Mush go'ni shiltimiz. What about Mr. Lee? Usually watch TV at night. So, you can say Mr. Lee usually watches TV at night. And the biyara nima aytsanglar, buning uchun keyiniga yes qilib qo'ydik, sarang bo'lib qolgandimi deymizlar? Yo'q. Egisi uchinchi shaxs birlik. Mr. Lee. U degan gap endi u almashtug'ini bo'lsa uchinchi shaxs bo'ladi shu. Mr. Lee usually watches TV at night. At night. Ma usually degan odatda qiladigan ishlar. Okay, what about him? You know, Mr. Sawyer clean the house every day. The Mr. Sawyer cleans the house every day. And we are cleans every day. Demek mushularni bersanglar oddiy hozir zamonning intayin muhim bo'lgan ilmitlari. Demak, feelninki asli shakli demakchi o'tgan emas yoki oyinchi emas. Endi uchinchi shaxs birligi o'qasa asqatilgan. Uningki nima? Every day, in the morning, in the evening, at night, at noon, in the afternoon degandek. Demek ki Johnsons go to park, go to garden every week. Mr. Lee usually watches TV at night, and Mr. Sawyer cleans the house every day. Deganlar nima sanlar oddiy hozirqiman. Endi bu oddiy hozirqiman degan nima sanlar davomliq yuz beradigan, mush odatga aylangan harakatlarni hamda mushu nayt uzoq mezgil mavjud bo'lib turadigan holatlarni nima deymiz? Biz mushuni oddiy hozirqiman orqali ifodalaymiz. Endi buning qurilmasini nima sanlar avval egis keladi, avval jo'yis keladi. Shunama unakin do, does, unakin boshqa bo'laklari. Endi bu uzoq mezgil mavjud bo'lib turgan holat deganimiz qandoq deganda, masalan, I am a teacher. Men bo'lsam bir o'qituvchi. Masalan, you are a student. Siz bo'lsangiz bir o'quvchi. Demak, bu mavjud albatta mangu bo'lmaydi, lekin uzoqcha shunda saqlanib turgan holat bo'ladi. Okay, holat bo'ladi. Endi buningga mos soldiki vaqt ravishlaridan, masalan, often, usually, always, sometimes, every day. Okay. Often, usually, always, sometimes, every day. Okay. And so, mush rasmga qarab bir javob berib qo'yinglar. What does Angel always do in the evening? So, what does Angel do in the evening? She always does her homework in the evening. O davomli qanday qildi ekan? Uningki homework topshiriqni ishlaydi ekan. Demak, hamda kechqurun hamda uning qiladigan ishi, demakki odatga aylanib, demak har kechqurun hamda uning ko'pincha qiladigan ishlar nima? Shu topshiriq ishlash. She always does her homework in the evening. So, what does Sue usually do at night? Kechda o Sue nima ish qiladi? Qaranglar, bu nima ish qilibdi? Musiqa anglatibdi, shunami? She usually listens to music at night. Adatda u kechda nima ish qilgan? Musiqa anglar ekan. So what does Jane usually do at noon? Endi shu vaqtda Jane nima ish qilgan? Bu Jane mi qanday do'rab hamda musiqa anglatibdi, shunami? She usually listens to music at noon. Listens to music at noon. What deganda? Tushda musiqa anglaydi. Demak, hamda uning og'lig'ini hargiz bugun ichib pushib qolmadimi? Yo'q. Demak, hamda shuni odati. Shunami? So what does Amy always do before a meal? Okay. What does Amy always do before a meal? Hamda Amy mushu tomoq yeyishdan burun doim nima ish qiladi? Hamda uning odati nima demakchi? She always washes her hands before a meal. Avval o tomoq yeyishdan burun qo'lini yuvadi. Demak, she always washes her hands before a meal. Okay. Agar his emas her de xato besib qopda. Kechirib o'tinglar. Her hands, nima qizcha her deyishimiz kerak. Okay. So look at more picture and think. Do they often play football in the afternoon? Do they often play football? No, they don't. They don't often play football in the afternoon, and they often swim in the afternoon. And nima qildi? Suv o'tibdi-ku. Allah odatda nima qildi? Suv uzdi. So, what about him? So, does he often watch TV in the evening? Kechqurunlikqa doim televizor ko'ramdi? No, he doesn't. He doesn't often watch TV in the evening. He often reads books in the evening. Odatda u kechqurunlikqa televizor ko'rmaydi. Nima ish qiladi? Kitob ko'radi. He reads books in the evening. Okay. Demak, hamda shu yibanshandayda nima desanlar? Savol shakli, do they often play? They don't often play. Does he often watch? He doesn't often watch. Ama yiban jusa, agar igis uchinchi shaxs birlik o'qib qolsa, do'ga asosli fe'lni asqatilib does bo'lib ketadi. Does bo'lib ketadi. Yiban ju shakli qanday desanlar, shunga do yoki does igisi. Agar qanday vaqtda does bo'ldi desanlar, igisi uchinchi shaxs birlik bo'lgan does bo'ldi, undan keyin dungsining yuanshing skillda undan keyin boshqa bo'laklar. Masalan, yes they do. No, they don't. And the oddiy savol jumlaga yes yoki no orqali javob berdi emasmi? Do they often play? Yes, they do. No, they don't. Okay. Does he often watch? Does he often watch? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Okay. Demek hamda yes ki yes, no ga no, he does. Anda foreign şekilde. Foreign şekilde nima dersanglar? İgisi aniki don't yoki doesn't. Demek doesn't shu uchinchi shaxs birlik bo'lganda doesn't bo'ladi. Endi do'ngsin yuvansinsi. Do'ngsin yuvansinsi. Anda shu yuvanshan narshaniki nimalar qarab boqayli. They often swims in the afternoon. What do they often do in the afternoon? Hamda shuni alayt savolga aylantirib olsak qanday qilmaymiz desanglar, shuningdiki shu harakatni nima desanglar, what do degan almashtirib olsak bo'ladi. Masalan, what do they do in the afternoon? Shunama, what do they do in the afternoon? Shu savolga aylandi. W bilan boshlangan nargilar jumlaning beshiri keldi. Shunama. And he often reads books in the evening. Endi buni yana alohida savolga aylantirib olsak, avval yeminjuga aylantirsak nima? Does he often reads book in the evening? Okay. Demek hamda o'sha in the evening deganiga vaqtniki olmishini almashtiradi. So when does he often read books? When does he often read books? Hamda mishariki hamda t'shu yeminjuda qanday desanglar what demakchi yak W yak H bilan boshlangan, masalan what, when degandek tushunami? And the do does igisi onun degan nima? Do'ngsin yuvansin bo'ldi. Okay. And so bir mashq qilib balla. Practice makes perfect. You're Kathy. Okay. Nima qilyapti? Spread tushunami? Kathy sweeps the floor on Sunday, but she doesn't sweep the floor on. Okay. On nima? Sunday, Saturday or degandek. Okay. Boshqa kunda qanday qilmaydi? Swim it. Okay. Next one is Sophie. You know, Sophie, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, the bed every evening, but she, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, the bed every morning. And the morning, the Sophie makes the bed every evening, but she doesn't make the bed every morning. And they should do, doesn't. Okay, what about him? What is he doing? He's like kicking the ball, right? You know, Jim usually plays football on Monday afternoon, but he doesn't play on Tuesday afternoon. And the Tuesday afternoon, so what about her? You know, Mary often reads books on Wednesday, but she doesn't read books on Saturday night. Okay, and the odatda mushu Wednesdayda chorshanba kunlari kitob ko'rdi ekan, lekin mushu shanbaga hech qanday qilmaydi ekan, kitob o'qimaydi ekan. So let's more practice. Let's more practice. Amsa qaranglar, igisi she shunami? Agar nima desanglar, she washes shunami? She washes the dishes every day. The children to school in the morning. The name is goes to school and they go to school them no. Okay, and the boning children go to school in the morning. And the children again go to kilanga. You know, their father take them to school. Takes them to school. Lana that's bradam shnama, but election takes as kattok. Mrs. Sawyer stays at home. You know, she does the housework. She always eats her lunch at noon. Okay. I'm the mishariki, foreign Jubilan, even Juk on Apple Games and Islander Games. Abonne shekle, Igran Kurup Truptok. She washes the dishes every day. And the biyarki shening keyinde dübür yardımcı bir yuşurun uxlab yatqan bo'ladi. Agar sual yoki inkar degan bu gapni olsa, ular qo'yqib ketadi. Shuning bilan she du chiqdimi? Bu du chiqqandan keyin men askabek omroq. Şununla aslını qatib olib, ma washes-dagi es pitni ma'noga kelib, does bo'ldimi? Inkar shaklida doesn't. She doesn't wash the dishes every day. And the doing pitni oldiga o'tkazsak nima deysan? Does she wash the dishes every day? Okay. And macho, children go to school in the morning. Maktab borda. And bunun uchun duypanib chiqishi ham as qatib oldiga as yo'q shunga. The children don't go to school in the morning. Ya'ni-chi, do the children go to school in the morning? degan ishga jumlaga aylandi. Endi keyingisi their father takes them to school. Endi nima? Their father doesn't take them to school. And does their father takes them to school? Dadalari maktabga olib boramdu. Tushunami? And Mrs. Sawyer stays at home. And Sawyer xonim qanaqa qildi? Uyda turdi. Mrs. Sawyer doesn't stay at home. And does Mrs. Sawyer stay at home? Uyda o'tiramdu degandek shu qanday desanglar bo'laklar kelgan. So, bo'ldi. Bugungi darsimiz shu 57-darsningki, yo'q 56-ningki mushagicha bo'lsin. Undaqda yana 57-da 58-darsda qanday qilib ko'rishdi. Okay, goodbye.